everyone, welcome back to Faewood Mead, and today we are making a Muscadine grape strawberry mead. Here's the thing. I bought these grapes like last fall, and they're just taking up a lot of space in my fridge, okay? I had like 5 of these. It equaled out to about 6 pounds, 25 ounces. I don't know. Not 25 ounces. Oh my God. It's basically like 6¼ pounds worth of red and green grapes. Muscadine grapes have been used in commercial wines, which I didn't really know until I briefly looked up Muscadine grapes. And another cool thing is that they're actually a North American native, and they're traditionally grown actually where I live and further south. So it's like the whole southeastern, mid-southeastern area. I did actually try one when I bought them. I found them at an Aldi. If you're not from the East Coast, you have no idea what Aldi is, but it's basically like a sort of like a discount grocery, but they carry a bunch of other stuff too. They have these grapes for like $2 a thing, and I was like, okay, I'll buy these, and then they just sat in my freezer. So the problem I ran into is that I kind of ran out of room in my freezer. I've been intending on making this mead, but I knew it was gonna be like labor intensive, so I was like, ugh, putting it off. Me having like zero self-control, bought a ton of fruit, and I have no place to put it. So I decided to clear out my freezer a bit and make this mead. I didn't really look up any lore or anything. I just looked up where they were from, and they're local to America, and I thought that was pretty neat. So some of these grapes are, they're still, it looks like a potato. Doesn't it look like a tiny potato? Some of these grapes are still kind of frozen. I took them out hours ago. Some things just take forever. So I brought down my handy dandy crusher that I typically seem to use, but I also brought down a potato masher just in case this doesn't work so well, because I was like, I don't know. I think I am gonna throw like all, ooh, I should grab my brewer's bag because I want to put the grape pulp back into my mead. So I added 2½ pounds of honey. As you know, I am trying to make some kind of more middle range ABV meads instead of the high range because it makes me a little tipsy. And I find myself going to the wine store to buy beer and other things that are a lighter alcohol rather than drinking my own mead. Okay. Wow, there's a lot of juice in these things. Holy moly. Okay, I'm gonna go grab my brewer's bag. I might just put this video on pause, honestly. This is gonna take me a while, so I'm gonna go ahead and mash this and put it in my bucket. BRB. Alrighty, got stuff off the table because that was a lot. So the juice kind of comes out looking like this. It's like strawberry lemonade. It's very just kind of dirty pink. Maybe a watermelon-y look. These didn't actually give like a whole lot of juice necessarily, just a lot of mass. I mean, I briefly read on a homebrew forum, someone who used Muscadine grape. Oh my. Oh, there's like juice in here. Don't worry, all of this is sanitized. In a homebrew forum who was like, you know, lightly crush the grapes kind of thing. So I didn't like super mash them, but I did break them. Well, I used 2½ pounds of clover honey. I didn't put a full gallon in. I maybe left this much on the bottom, like out of a gallon fermenter, you know? There's this much water left in there. I don't know if that was enough. Since I'm using this bag, it should be not as messy, so who knows? Maybe I'm gonna have a little bit more than a gallon. Whoops. Whew. So I got my little half a tisp. I'll put my Go Firm in here. I am using Lelvin 71B. I did buy QA23, by the way. New yeast alert. Oh, I need to take my gravity. I almost forgot. I think it's basically at 1.100. No, it's at 1.088. Nice. So that gravity shouldn't get too high. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this ferment on the grapes. Once it's done, I'm going to stabilize it, add strawberries, This time we're not fermenting the strawberries, so we'll see what the flavor difference is. Probably more honey, because I want this to be a little bit sweeter, like a sweet strawberry wine. No idea how muscadine grapes taste. No idea. So we'll see how this turns out. I think it's just gonna take them a minute to get going. All right, well, probably gonna give them just another minute, dump it in there, put on my lid and everything and call it good. God, everything is sticky. Very sticky right now. And then I think for this video, I will just continue on with it. So transition to the next portion. Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to see what this mead is doing. I'm sure it's dry. It's gotta be dry by now. Oh, that smells nice. I smelled it as it was fermenting and it smelled like cough syrup. I kid you not. It was kind of awful smelling. I don't know. I don't really know what to do right now. I don't know if I literally just want to take this out and drop strawberries in here. I kind of wanted to take it out of the bucket, but at the same time, I'm like, maybe I should just put strawberries in here. Oh my God, no. I need to wash my hands. I am not prepared. Oh no. I can't pick up my mic. So it still has a little bit of like a medicinal scent to it. And I think it's just the grapes. It's just how it is right now. Sort of prepared for this video today. I totally forgot about the fact that I'm gonna add strawberries. Now I have some strawberries that have been in the freezer, obviously for quite some time because they're dehydrated, but I have 2 pounds. Or at least they were 2 pounds here. I do believe I'm gonna need more strawberries, but here's what I wanna do right now. I'm just gonna leave it in the pail for now. This will be my first mead when the strawberries are not fermented. Wild, I know. The strawberries are always fermented. I'm really curious to see what the flavor difference is going to be. Looking, ooh, very dry, very dry. Well under 1. And obviously I didn't film this. I did add nutrients at 2 different times. So I added a nutrient addition within 24 hours. So it's between 12 and 24. And then I did another one about 6 days later. Today is the 7th of July, 0.994. Darn it, I can't add the strawberries right now because they will get fermented. I have to use a Camden tablet first. Well, I guess we're not adding anything today. You are going the au naturel way. Just mixed up everything at the bottom. Whoopsie. If you want to go the au naturel way, then really the only way to do it is to max out the yeast. And as soon as you know they're maxed, add the strawberries. I'm gonna crush the tablet. I am getting attacked by cat hair. All right, so I got one because this is a full gallon. Right now it might be a little bit more. And I was told to crush them between 2 spoons by one of y'all watching. It worked! Now I have to wait a couple days. Thanks for watching thus far. Transition time. Hello and welcome back. All right, today we have our strawberries and elderflower. I was thinking of elderflower before and I wasn't really sure if I wanted to add it, but I think I do. If you watch the juniper elderflower mead making videos, you would see that I have worked with these flowers before, clearly. Now, at that time I had added a full ounce. Came out a little strong, so I think I'm gonna add a 1/2 ounce in its own little baggie. See how it's doing. In a couple of days, I might need to just take that out. I think that's all it took, was a couple of days. Now here I do have 4 pounds of strawberries, so I am adding a fully loaded strawberry flavor addition, I guess. I don't know. But the thing is, the reason I decided to do that was because I had 2 pounds of strawberries in my freezer for a while and they were very dehydrated. So I didn't know how good those would be. First, I'm gonna add my strawberries. I have a brewer's bag. Well, it's the same one I have my grapes in. God, it was pain to clean. Let me tell you. These strawberries are still pretty cold, but it doesn't matter because we're not actively fermenting. Since I stabilized, this should no longer ferment. It should be good to go. I'm gonna throw in the strawberries and see what happens. Hopefully they don't re-ferment. I don't want them to ferment. Got the strawberries, save one piece. I cut the strawberries up pretty small. So I just left it in this bucket because I was like, there's gonna be more fallout, you know? So I'm gonna add my elderflower. When I remove the elderflower, I don't think I'm gonna end up filming that. I will just let you know next time I do film to remove the strawberries and do a little taste test. Okay, I have a nut bag. Who was it? Michelle? Michelle had commented on one of the videos saying that she uses nut milk bags, that they're super easy and awesome. So I was like, yes, please. And I immediately ordered some. They weren't expensive at all. Like, they were very well priced. So elderflower's in. I'm gonna kind of squish it down a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. How long did I leave it in for? It looks like I did leave it in for like a week. From 7:28 to 8:04. So almost a week or about a week. I left it in and 1 ounce was too much. So I think a half an ounce for a week should be good. And then I will leave the strawberries in for at least 2 weeks, probably about 2 weeks. I need to check the ABV on this thing. So after it's soaked in the strawberries and stuff, I'm gonna wait, rack it, back sweeten, just do all that jazzle badazz. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. Stay tuned for the next section. And yeah, I'm pretty hopeful for this. I think it will be interesting. All right, thank you. Mwah. See y'all next time. Bye.